going on, everyone? So we've got the 180 SX dash out. We've turned around and we've sanded back all the rough plastic on top. We've gone through and gouged out the crack and the ends of the cracks on every single one on the top here of the dashboard. Now what we're getting ready to do here is we have some Protect fiberglass resin, and we've got our Protect catalyst here. Now we've turned around and we'll be doing a small batch of 50 ml, and we'll be getting a paintbrush and applying it to all the cracks and all the foam here, so it can start to cure up and harden up to be able to accept the fiberglass body filler, in which we'll go across with the fiberglass filler and we'll fill all the large voids. Then we're going to come through with a lightweight filler and we're going to go over the top of it again to fill all the pinholes and all the small little imperfections. Then we're going to give everything a nice solid sandback across the whole entire dashboard. Once that's done, we've got a dash flocking kit that we're then going to apply to the whole thing, so it's going to be a nice black sort of suede looking texture when it's done. So if you'd like to see this and like to follow along and see the progress, stay tuned and follow the updates. So what we have here again is we have our fiberglass resin, we have our catalyst. We've already turned around, mixed up the tin of resin and poured it into a cup here. We've got just over 50 ml. Now the way it works is they want 45 drops, which is 1 ml of the catalyst, to 100 ml of the resin. So we should be able to get away with doing 22 drops with the way we've got it set here. We'll go 23 to 24 to make sure that it's got enough hardener in it. We'll be mixing it up in this cup here and getting our brush and applying it to all the cracks in the dashboard. So I'm going to start mixing this up. Start off by just pouring our resin straight into our mixing cup. Doesn't matter if we don't quite get every single last bit, that's also why we measured a little over. Now the fun part. There we go. Now that should be enough to mix it up. Now, while we're mixing this, what you're looking for is for it to go to a slightly green hue. Well, with the Protect fiberglass anyway. They're all a little different, and you can already see that starting to happen. It's changing from the blue to a slightly green colour. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but the more I mix it, the more it changes colour, and we know that it's starting to mix and that catalyst is all stirred through and that it's ready to be applied to the part. Now, yes, we've probably mixed up a lot more catalyst and fiberglass resin than we actually need, but we've got a few other things laying around that we can use the excess on. So also what I'm looking for, and the reason I'm using a paper cup, is fiberglass resin lets off a heat. When it heats up, when it sets off, it has like a thermal reaction. Now, as it sets off and heats up, I'll be able to feel it in the cup, in the paper cup, as it's warming up. So when it starts to get a little warm in my hand, I know that that resin is no longer really any good to put on the part, and that I need to get rid of it, or stop and put it down so I can go off that. Now you can definitely see it's a nice shade of green. It's no longer blue. We'll just spin it around and make sure that we're getting every last little drop and it's all mixed through. And looks so. What's going on, everyone? So as you can see, we've now turned around and we've applied all the epoxy into all the cracks. So every single one is filled down to the bottom. We've now also gone over the edging just a little bit to ensure that it's going to hold that plastic down. That plastic on top here isn't going to lift back up and cause issues. So now what we're waiting for it to do is we're waiting for the resin in this cup here to go tacky. So when I lift my finger like that, we want sort of little strings to come off my finger and stick to the cup. What that means is when the resin is tacky, we can turn around and use the heat gun and start heating up all the resin, which will do two things. One, it'll level everything out and remove the air bubbles, and two, it'll help flush everything off quicker, setting it, making it cure faster so that we can get to applying the body filler quicker. So as I said earlier, if you're liking what you see, stay tuned, follow, like, share, subscribe, and we'll keep posting content just like this. Stay tuned for more.